Greetings, nerds and virgins. Jon Jones versus Dominick Reyes at UFC 247, the main event. It's a pretty good fight. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be more exciting than the Thiago Santos fight because, I thought that Jon Jones would be able to finish Thiago Santos. I still think that he could finish him if he took him down, but he chose not to because he wanted to test himself. That's why he's the GOAT. Like, it's for Jones. At this point, it's not about winning. It's not just about winning. It's about how he wins. It's like people think he's gonna win, but people wonder how he's gonna win. It's kind of like when Ronda Rousey was finishing everybody, and then she got knocked the fuck up by Holly Holm. So that's that. But at this point, Jon Jones is looking for greatness. He's not looking for another win. He's looking for greatness. He's looking for a way to test himself. So that's that. So let's talk about Jon Jones. Jon Jones has fucking strong wrestling. Like before he fought Daniel Cormier, I thought his wrestling was not as strong as Daniel Cormier's wrestling. So I thought Daniel Cormier would maul him because after watching him mauling Dan Henderson, I was like, holy shit, this Daniel Cormier, he has this sick wrestling. He's gonna dismantle Jon Jones. But after watching Jon Jones dismantling Daniel Cormier, I realized that he has sick wrestling. Because I thought Daniel Cormier would have superior wrestling because he's an Olympian, and Jon Jones is not as decorated as him as Cormier's wrestling pedigree. But it turned out that Jon Jones is on another level. Daniel Cormier, very good fighter. Like I think he's like pound for pound the second fighter on the pound for pound list. The first one is Jon Jones, but Jon Jones is just on another level, guys. On another level, guys. So he has strong wrestling. He has fast and very diverse kicks. Like he has roundhouse leg kick, inside leg kick, oblique kick, side kick, front leg side kick, front kick, spinning back kick to the body, jumping side kick, jumping switch kick, axe kick, question mark kick, roundhouse head kick, roundhouse body kick, tip kick, flying knee, fucking too many. And his kicks are so fluid. It doesn't look like he's trying. It's like he's using his magic wand, okay? Like his kicks are such a beauty and very fast, very strong. It's very hard to KO DC. Okay, it's very hard to KO DC. It took fucking 4 rounds for Stipe to figure out how to KO DC. And Jon Jones, his left head kick is just lightning fast. He kicks fucking hard. He kicks fucking fast, fucking hard, fucking precise as well. And his kicks are such a beauty. And he can fight on both stances, orthodox, southpaw. I think he prefers southpaw. I think his left parts of his body are more powerful than his right part. Like I think his left hand is more powerful than his right hand, although he's not known for his punching power. His left kick is very strong as well. He prefers southpaw, but he could fight both ways. He has elbows, vicious elbows, like the way he dropped Thiago Santos. It could have been just Thiago Santos having trouble with balancing on his fucked up knee, but the way he dropped Thiago Santos, the way he dismantles everybody in the clinch with elbows, like his elbows are incredible. He doesn't have very good punching power. That's, I think, the only thing that's lacking from him. But I think it could be good, because if you had great punching power, if you had good knockout power with your punches, you kind of bank on it. Okay, banking on your punching power, banking on your chin, banking on something, one thing, is very dangerous. Okay, and because I think maybe the fact that Jon Jones doesn't have great punching power is a good thing for him, because he doesn't have to bank on it. He can use he uses kicks, he uses elbow, he uses punches, clinches, takedowns. He's just a phenomenal fighter. He has very good chin, never been cracked once, not even once, maybe just a little bit by Lyoto Machida, but I think that's the only time. Maybe a little bit by Thiago Santos, and maybe a little bit by Daniel Cormier, but his chin is great. Okay, and he doesn't bank on his chin like guys like Israel Adesanya or Jon Jones. They have great chins, but they don't bank on it. That's why they're great. Okay, people like Daniel Cormier or Stipe Miocic or Mark Hunt, they kind of bank on their chin and like they use it as their weapon. Like hit me, it don't fucking matter. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna return my shots. And but the thing is, chin goes away at some point. Okay, you it's good to have a good chin, but you can't bank on it. Okay, good chin is like like an insurance. You can't bank on it. It's good to have an insurance, but you just can't bank on it. That's not fighting. That's fighting, but that's not smart fighting. Jon Jones is smartest fighter in UFC, and he has very good skills at evading punches. Like he doesn't get hit much. He didn't get hit much in Thiago Santos' fight. Like Jimmy Manuwa, not very good at evading punches. That's why the first 10 seconds, the opening 10 seconds, he got dropped like 2 times. Like he got dropped like 4 or 5 times in that fight. I mean, Jimmy Manuwa doesn't have the best chin, but if he had better head movement or if he had better defense, I think he could have won against Thiago Santos with his left hook. But he doesn't have great defense, and he definitely doesn't have the greatest chin. So Jon Jones has very good evading skills, and he's very, very good at stopping his opponent's flow. Like Alexander Gustafsson was trying to get into rhythm, in the second fight. He was trying to get into rhythm, but Jon Jones didn't let him. He kept on kicking him, elbowing him, punching him, and he doesn't let his opponents get into rhythm. Let's say Jon Jones is fighting a great knockout artist. Like he's looking for a knockout, but the thing is, Jon Jones doesn't let you find your rhythm. So that knockout power fighter is not going to be able to do anything because he can't find his rhythm. So that's kind of what happened when Gustafsson was fighting Jon Jones, and then Gustafsson is not like a knockout artist. He does have good power, but he's not like Anthony Johnson type of fighter. But Jon Jones, very good at cutting other fighters' rhythm. He has very good cardio. He can go 5 rounds all day, 5 rounds all day, 5 rounds all day. No question about it. Fight IQ, I think he has one of the best fight IQ in UFC. Maybe the best, I think. Maybe the best. He's like the smartest fighter. And people talk about his fight against Thiago Santos, that he didn't look good. But I think it's because he chose not to. He chose not to take him down. Like it would have been awesome if he had finished Santos, especially with the fact that his knee was fucked up. But I think it was pretty good or okay performance from Jon Jones, because Thiago Santos finished all his fights in the light heavyweight division. The middleweight Thiago Santos is a bum, but light heavyweight Thiago Santos, for some reason, his chin is rejuvenated. His chin is good suddenly, and great power. He looks thick. He looks big. He looked bigger than Jon Jones. At least, like, he's not as tall as Jon Jones, but he was thicker than Jon Jones. I don't see many people beating Thiago Santos at light heavyweight. I'm not sure if Johnny Walker can beat him. Not many fighters can beat him. I'm not sure if Dominick Reyes can beat Thiago Santos, to be honest. And Thiago Santos throws hell of a lot of punches at once. So, and he punches pretty hard as well. Not as hard as guys like Stipe Miocic, but for Jones, he's a smart fighter. He's not gonna just go in and take punches from Thiago Santos like the way Jimmy Manuwa did. He's a smart fighter. That's why he has been a champ for a long time. I think the only time Jones underestimated his opponent was when he was fighting Gustafsson for the first time. He said he trained for like two weeks because he thought Gustafsson was an easy fight, and he was drinking, he was hanging out in clubs, but still he beat him. He still beat him. Pretty close fight, but I think he won by 48-47. And then what happened in the second fight? He didn't underestimate Gustafsson. He just fucking dismantled Gustafsson. Yeah, that's for Jones. And for Reyes, he has many knockout wins, and especially when he was fighting out of UFC, he had very quick knockouts. But fighters in UFC, they have better chins than the ones who are not in the UFC, because the ones who are in the UFC, they have to have good chins, because if they don't have good chins, they don't qualify. Okay, being in the UFC, you need skills and all that, but one of the most important aspects to be in the UFC is to have a good chin, because if you don't have a good, it's fighting, okay? Even if you're Mayweather, you'll get punched at least once. And if you have if you're a glass jaw rat, then you're gonna get clipped, and then it's gonna be all over. So fighters in UFC, they have good chin, especially the ones who are ranked. The top 15 guys, most of them have good chins, great chins. So when he entered the top 15, he didn't have many KOs. Like, he couldn't KO Volkan Oezdemir, although Volkan Oezdemir has tremendously good chin. And he finished, what's his name, Jared Cannonier, but Jared Cannonier was a bum when he was at light heavyweight or heavyweight. At middleweight, he's doing pretty good, but I think he's very overrated. He beat Weidman, but I think Weidman's chin is gone. I like Weidman. I love Weidman. I hope he wins in the next fight. I really do, but his chin is not the same anymore. He's been KO'd by Yoel Romero, the Cuban Missile. He's been KO'd by, what's his name, Jacare Souza. He's been KO'd so many times. His chin is not the same. So KOing Chris Weidman is impressive, but not that impressive. And he lost to Volkan Oezdemir, and people say, "Oh, if you're not beating Volkan Oezdemir, how could you beat Jon Jones?" Kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. It also doesn't make sense, because in MMA, there's no such thing as MMA math. Okay, just because you couldn't beat Oezdemir, it doesn't mean you can't beat Jon Jones. I mean, Dominick Reyes had his own excuses. Like, he said he had a broken nose during the fight, and he was scared of Volkan Oezdemir's punching power, and Volkan Oezdemir hits pretty hard as well. So, but Jon Jones is different. I mean, I think Jon Jones is like 100 times better than Volkan Oezdemir, but he doesn't hit hard. I mean, he doesn't punch hard. He kicks hard, but he doesn't punch hard. So maybe Dominick Reyes could do better against Jon Jones. I'm not saying he's gonna win against Jon Jones, but I think he could do better. Like, just because he lost to Oezdemir, people saying, "Oh, he's never gonna beat Jon Jones." That just doesn't make sense. Kind of makes sense, but doesn't make sense. The thing that matters a lot in this fight is that he's never been to 5 rounds. He's never been to the distance. Okay, that counts, because until you've actually experienced a 5-round fight, a grueling 5-round fight, you don't know what it's like. Okay, sparring in your gym for 10 rounds, 12 rounds is different than actually fighting one of the best fighters in the UFC inside the octagon. It's totally different. So he could have a good cardio, but I could see him gassing out. So I'm not sure I'm not sure about his cardio. He has left head kick, pretty strong left head kick. It stumbled Chris Weidman. Didn't hurt him, but it stumbled him. Strong enough to back him up. And Jon Jones, when he was fighting Thiago Santos, he did get hit with left head kick from Thiago Santos. Jon Jones has good chin, so he could take it. But Dominick Reyes, if he times it well, I think it could hurt him. I'm not saying it's gonna hurt him, or I'm not saying it's gonna connect on Jon Jones, but if he does connect a perfectly timed head kick on Jon Jones, it could hurt him. He has pretty good takedown defense. I picked Weidman to win against Dominick Reyes. I mean, I was biased because I'm a Chris Weidman fan, but I thought that Chris Weidman, although not very good chin at this point in his career, but he's a very strong wrestler. I thought just because he wasn't able to defend takedowns from Volkan Ozdemir. I thought Chris Weidman was gonna take down Dominick Reyes and give him some hard times. Dominick Reyes did get taken down by Chris Weidman, but he got back up to his feet pretty fast. That was very, very impressive. So I think he's going to be prepared for Jon Jones's takedowns. I'm not sure if he can defend it. I'm sure he's going to prepare a lot, but I'm not sure if he can defend it because I know for a fact that Chris Weidman is a lot strong. Jon Jones is a lot stronger than Chris Weidman, and it has better chin. So I think Jon Jones will take him down. If he goes for a takedown, I think he will eventually get one, but maybe Dominick Reyes gets back up to his feet again in this fight. I don't know. And he has very good chin. Not been tested that many times in the UFC, but I think he has pretty good chin. So who do I think is gonna win the fight? I think Jon Jones is gonna beat him. The thing is, when Chris Weidman got knocked out by when he got knocked down by Dominick Reyes, it was because he was just rushing in. You can't do that against Dominick Reyes. You can't rush in against guys like Conor McGregor. You can't rush in against guys like Israel Adesanya. You can't rush in against guys like Anderson Silva, who are masters at countering. Okay, Dominick Reyes has very good left-hand counter shot, very good. But the thing is, and he did the same to Ovince St. Preux at the last second of the fight. But the thing is, Jon Jones doesn't do that. Like the way you saw against Thiago Santos' fight, he doesn't rush in. He's smart. He knows Dominick Reyes is looking for that left-hand counter shot. So I don't think he's gonna rush in. But I think he's gonna attack more than the fight he did against Thiago Santos, because Thiago Santos throws a hell of a lot of punches at once. But Dominick Reyes is a sharp striker. He doesn't throw a lot. He throws accurate, well-timed, and powerful shot. So I think he's gonna have easier time trying to attack Dominick Reyes. Maybe Jon Jones doesn't go for finish, because in UFC, ESPN MMA interview with Ariel Helwani, he said if the finish comes, he's gonna get it. But if it doesn't come, he's fine with just getting the W. So he could just look for a win rather than finish. And Jon Jones is very strong mentally, and fight IQ is one of the best in UFC, if not the best. The way he didn't tap against Vitor Belfort. It was TRT Vitor Belfort, juice to the gills. Look at his tits. He was just cranking on that fucking armbar, and he didn't tap. Okay, it got hyperextended, but he didn't tap. I could see Dominick Reyes hurting Jon Jones with a head kick. I could see it. Maybe it happens, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So I think Jon Jones is gonna get a decision, 60%, and finish 40%. I think if Jon Jones chooses to just take him down, I think it's gonna get a finish, like submission or ground and pound. But maybe again this fight he's gonna choose not to take him down, just to test himself against one of the best strikers in light heavyweight division. But one thing I have to mention is if Dominick Reyes beats Jon Jones, it's gonna be one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. Like it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be like the moment when Chris Weidman knocked out Anderson Silva. If Dominick Reyes even lands one knockdown on Jon Jones, that's gonna be a scene as well. So, but I think Jon Jones is gonna win. I'm not underestimating Dominick Reyes, but I think Jon Jones is just on another level. So that's it. So, thanks for watching. I don't know why, but this video today I've been stuttering a lot. This video is boring as fuck. If you watched the whole video, thank you so much. Now get the fuck out of here.